You're very welcome along to what is an absolutely resplendent looking Kilmallock on a beautiful Saturday afternoon in July for the meeting of this Lions of Limerick County Premier Intermediate Hurling Championship Round 1. It's Dromin Athlacca to our right hand side and Glenroe to our left. Our Dromin Athlacca team featuring two changes from that has been named a little bit earlier on. In goals is Tiernan Ryan. Cornerback wearing number 2, Ger Downes. Dunica Higgins lines out at fullback with Peter McMahon to his left at number 4. Half-back line is David Mullins. Micheál Reedy wears 6 and Kieran Short comes in as a late replacement for Peter Ryan wearing number 19 this afternoon. James Kelleher and David Reedy partner at midfield, while up front Shawnee O'Leary, David Breen and the veteran Paul Neenan line out on the half-forward line, while in the inside line Mark Fitzpatrick, Jason Linehan and Adam Costello will be looking to do the damage for the men from just over the road in Dromin Athlacca this afternoon, where they face southern rivals to our left, and they are Glenroe, and their goalkeeper is Ian O'Sullivan, a late change as well for them. Full back line is Jimmy Barry Murphy, Patrick McSweeney and Owen Gallagher. In the half back line it's a familiar trio here of Stephen Fox, Stephen Walsh and at number 7 David McCarthy. Midfield Donald Kelly and Darren McCarthy, while up front they will be looking to ace marksman and captain Mark O'Connell, Kieran Kelly and Padraig McGrath, the half forward line, to make some inroads in that Dromin Athlacca defence, while in the full forward line it's Owen O'Mahony, Brian O'Connell and Owen Junior Walsh, who will be again looking to hopefully have a good afternoon out here in what is a beautiful surface here in Kilmallock. Pitch is looking really well. Both sides just about ready to throw in. Our match referee is Jason O'Mahony from the Kildimo Palace Kinry Club, and of course his club out yesterday evening in Group 2 of this championship, but of course we're focused on Group 1 for this evening. The throw-in comes and it's won by in midfield by David Reedy, and on the quick attack here is the Dromin Athlacca men, and that looks like Jason Linehan on the possession now, trying to get the ball through, but flicked away well by Patrick McSweeney, and it's Stephen Walsh, the familiar frame of Walsh, using his left hand side to clear defence into attack, coming down on top of Owen O'Mahony, and Mahoney looking back out the field, and it's Kieran Kelly who's taken up a good position here. Kelly trying to get into his left, striking well, it looks good from here, and after 33 seconds here on the intermediate grade, it's Kieran Kelly who has got Glenroe off to a cracking start, and it's a beautiful worked move from the men from just under the Ballyhowra Mountains, and that was a fabulous score from Kieran Kelly. Ball was worked well back out to him, and his strike was really good. Jason O'Mahony having a quick word in midfield, a couple of players getting to know each other, and it looks like the two number 9s, Darren McCarthy and David Reedy, as the puck out comes in their direction, and it's Reedy with a slick touch, using his sidestep, moves the ball back out to Kieran Short here, but it hasn't been won, and for the initial foul, Jason O'Mahony says, David Reedy, you can have your first opportunity at having a shot at goal here, and that was a really slick touch from Reedy, who has been on form. From what we believe coming into this game this evening. It is the first round of the championship and the form book is a bit unusual, but from a number of games that they have played, he has been one that has been leading a light, and of course he is the captain of the men in the hoops this evening, and he will be hoping to get his account opened here. It's really striking into the bit of a breeze that's here, and that ball has gone to the right hand side and wide. So first wide of the afternoon goes to the Dromin Athlacca men, and it's David Reedy. So Ian O'Sullivan with his puck out comes long to his half forward, and it's the aforementioned Reedy who bats the ball forward. As far as Shawnee O'Leary working the ball inside, but Stephen Walsh sits deep and clears this one really well. Big long testing ball, sun in the eyes of the forwards down there. It's well handled. Have we a shot saved by Peter Ryan? It's on the goal line, it's been kicked in, and it's Brian O'Connell who's got it. Brian O'Connell has got the rebound off of Tiernan Ryan after Owen O'Mahony made a fantastic catch, and O'Connell is the man who will be credited with that. A pushover goal, similar maybe to what Graham Mulcahy got last evening in the Gaelic grounds for Kilmallock, but they all count a fabulous goal, and it's 1-1 to no score here, and it's the men who have come from Premier or from Ordinary Intermediate last year who are in the ascendancy in the opening period. It's Stephen Walsh again clearing defence into attack, but it's back there it goes, And it's on to, it looks like Adam Costello, the favourite from James Kelleher, plays a good ball across, and this could be a really good score, a really well-worked score if it was to come, and I think it has, and that is Shawnee the ball has gone to the left-hand side and wide. Thought the umpire had signal for a point, but Shawnee O'Leary with the final shot. Ian O'Sullivan taking the puck out here, going to the far side of the field this time. Added to over there, but it's Dromin Athlacca who are bringing this ball out, and it's James Kelleher in midfield now. Short as far as David Breen. Touch has just left him down, and it's back with Stephen Walsh. Not for the first time this afternoon. He's going long, breeze it, he's back. It's long, it's high, and the umpire goes for it. And that is a fabulous score from Stephen Walsh. And 3 minutes and 45 seconds, it's Stephen Walsh who has given Glenroe a 5-point advantage here. The ideal start for them as Tiernan Ryan faces the puck out, or faces with the puck out, I should say, and he's facing into the sun. Going long, down the throat of the aforementioned Walsh, and he puts his hand up and he gathers possession there. So 2 possessions ago he put it over the bar, and now he's won the puck out, but his hand pass not so good. It's Dromin Athlacca very much on the attack, back to Paul Neenan. Neenan turning on his left, super blocked down, and it's the lad of green and black jerseys back there, Jason O'Mahony, playing some sort of advantage. No, he's not. The hurley has been dropped, and it looks like Padraig McGrath was the guilty party there, arguing that maybe he might have been fouled initially. But Jason O'Mahony, wearing his yellow stripe this afternoon, says no, hurley was dropped, and it's going to be David Reedy, a chance for him to open the scoring for Dromin Athlacca. A little bit closer to goals this time, a bit more central as well. And David Reedy, without any shadow of doubt, has opened the account of the Dromin Athlacca men. So it's 1-2 to 1 point. And it's Ian O'Sullivan again, going long. And again, the forwards and the backs down there, they have the sun in their eyes. But it's added on to beautifully by Kieran Kelly. And it's Owen Walsh now, tricky customer, moving inside. Brilliant run off him by Padraig McGrath. Possession just falls from his hands, and it's Dixie Higgins who has it. It's out to David Reedy. Making steps here is James Kelleher, trying to find somebody in his half-forward line, and it's Shawnee O'Leary who picks it up. Off as far as David Breen. Breen is moving forward at pace now. He's attacking the 21. He's got options in front of him. A shot on a brilliant goal! And it's David Breen who has got a fantastic goal for the Dromin Athlacca man. He carried that ball at distance, and that has been an electrifying finish and a really good shot to boot, to put it past the goalkeeper. And that has been a shot in the arm for the Dromin Athlacca men, who were looking sluggish to start, but it's only a point game now. And this has all the makings of a cracker. Back down to Mark O'Connell. O'Connell puts the hands up and wins it well. Coming back into midfield, trying to find a green and black jersey, but it's Donica Higgins who has it. Higgins, very familiar to this pitch in Kilmallock, of course. It's back to Stephen Walsh, and he's manning that 6-box really well. Back to Patrick McSweeney, coming out, but super work there by the corner back there, corner forward Mike Fitzpatrick, and there has been a free. Jersey pull, says Jason O'Mahony. And that really is high intensity stuff now. And a chance for us to draw breath, and a chance for David Reedy, more importantly, to draw level. And just a couple of moments ago, it would have been quite a different story, but it's Dromin Athlacca to get their 3rd score in a row, 1-1 to 1-2. And he thinks David Reedy will do the business here. And thankfully I didn't put the hex on him. Good score from David Reedy. Routine for a player of his quality and calibre. 7 minutes and 15 seconds gone. It's going to be Ian O'Sullivan again. It's out to that far side of the field, and that's beautifully handled by Owen O'Mahony in the air. He's carrying this ball and this attack very much towards the Dromin Athlacca defence. It's Junior Walsh getting inside, but gotten back well there is Dixie Higgins, a giant. I think that looks like Ger O'Leary, but it's bobbling around the goals. This is certainly dangerous, and it's flicked away. And it's brought away well. Is this David Breen? It looks like. I'm looking up. There's only 3 Dromin Athlacca forwards ahead of him. The centre forward is playing very deep. It's actually Shawnee O'Leary, in fact. And Shawnee plays it inside, but touched away by Jimmy Barry Murphy. Stephen Walsh back to goal. Good hit there. Jason Linehan. This ball is on the ground. And Jason O'Mahony says he was being pushed to the ground. And Jason Linehan put in a very good shoulder-to-shoulder charge on the 2013 Munster Senior Hurling Championship winner Stephen Walsh. And as he was getting up, Linehan just adjudged to have kept him on the ground. But good defence from the Dromin Athlacca. I mean, look like they're playing with three up top. And it's David McCarthy who is going to have a go at this one. And he's on 45, so there's quite a distance here to the goal, but he's got Breeze at his back, and it's significant, and McCarthy's going to have distance, and the tap of the hurley on the crossbar will tell you that David McCarthy has put this one over the bar and restored the lead for the Glenroe men, 1-3 to 1-2. Tiernan Ryan looking for options, going to go long. Paul Neenan's coming short, but he doesn't get that far, and it's Kieran Kelly who's touched it down. And working hard in midfield there is the Dromin Athlacca team, and it's Micheál Reedy in fact, but it's still the Glenroe on attack, and Owen Walsh just taken out of it a little bit there, but fairly so. And it's Micheál Reedy again now, brother of David, off to David Breen, clears it long. And it's down as far as corner forward, number 13, Mark Fitzpatrick. And it's Stephen Walsh who's defending him well. And it's, again, Jason O'Mahony judges that Walsh has been fouled. And the management team of Ger Kelleher, Donald Walsh and company underneath us here from Dromin Athlacca felt that that one could have been going in. And of course, the word to management as well. This man running in there, Danny Murphy, no familiar or no stranger to these pitches either in his playing days. Joined on the sideline by Maurice O'Brien, of course, of the Gary Spillane club. It's David McCarthy trying to do what he did a couple of moments ago. Ball's long, this is dangerous, and it's Donica Higgins. Again, Dixie coming out with that ball and coming well. His team a point down. We're early stages of this game though. It's long and it's broken off by Mark O'Connell. It's going to go towards the sideline, but it's kept in well, and Stephen Fox shortens the grip, trying to find Kieran Kelly, and he does. He's going to face the goal, trying to play it short to Mark O'Connell, and it's onto him, and O'Connell moves it back off as far as Donald Kelly. Kelly on this right side, using his right shot is good. Has it curled enough? And Pat Mulno down there has said no. And the first wide of the afternoon comes on 10 minutes for Glenroe. And Tiernan Ryan anxious to slow this down. Remember, it's Glenroe with the aid of the breeze in this first half. So they will be looking to keep things moving a little bit quicker. And Tiernan Ryan surveying options just ahead of him. Again, opts to go down the teeth of this Glenroe defence, and it's broken away well there by David Breen. Sean O'Leary wins. Then back in, and it's Jason Linehan and Mark Fitzpatrick that are going to try and battle for it, but doing well there is Patrick McSweeney, and Glenroe tidy up really well to turn defence into attack. Ball is broken out, could be a chance of something here, and it's the lively Kieran Kelly who is in possession again. He's got Owen O'Mahony over for him. He gives it back to him. It's actually Brian O'Connell, the goal scorer from little earlier on. That's going to be a free, but play comes on, and they'll pull it back now, and it's could well see the first yellow card of the night. And that was a really good passage of play, and you can see that Glenroe intent on opening up that Dromin Athlacca defence. 1-2 short passes there, and Brian O'Connell definitely thinking the goal was on his mind, and it's going to be Peter McMahon, the cornerback for Dromin Athlacca, who's going to be the first man into Jason O'Mahony's book. Not a lot you can do with when a situation like that, and I empathise with him for being a cornerback in my day, one time a long time ago. But anyway, back to matters present, which is Mark O'Connell. And here's a man that's going to try and extend the lead, and he has indeed, and it's Mark O'Connell making it 1-4 for Glenroe. 1-2 to the men wearing hoops this evening, and of course that is Dromin Athlacca, as we're short the ball down there, I think. When we're not, we have it now. And Tiernan Ryan A late replacement for Richard Ryan, who got injured, interestingly enough, and so did the Dromin Athlacca, or the Glenroe goalkeeper got injured as well on Thursday night in training. So both teams playing with what effectively was their second choice goalkeeper from what they had selected on the match programme. So there's an interesting thing about this game this evening. It's Glenroe hoovering this ball up. It's Owen Walsh out in front of Peter McMahon, who's on that yellow card, and this is Owen Walsh's first chance to slide it over, and it's his first good run at the goal, and Owen Walsh has showed a turn of pace there to extend the advantage to 3 points. 13 and a half minutes played here. And that early quick ball into the Glenroe full forward line is causing Dromin Athlacca's defence a little bit of bother just at the minute. Here it comes. David Breen down on top of David Reedy. Good hands by Reedy. He's got a couple of men around him for company. It's back to Micheál Reedy, looking to find thread his way through. And yes, he has been fouled in one way or another. And it's going to be a free in for Dromin Athlacca. Nice crowd here. Of course, both panels are quite big, and that reduces the capacity of the spectators. But still, this pitch in Kilmallock looking absolutely fabulous this evening, and remedial work started around the grounds just a number of weeks ago, but I can tell you this surface is as good as it has ever been this evening, and what a fabulous place and a fabulous venue it is to watch a hurling game, or indeed to play a hurling game on. And it's David Reedy going to slot this one and hit it towards the goal, and it looks good. David Reedy has trouble with the first one, and that one went wide, but the rest have gone over the bar, and David Reedy again reducing the advantage. It's puck out has come long. Again, nobody opting for that short puck out this evening, and it's in midfield, broken play, off as far as the number 9, off to Mark O'Connell. That's Darren McCarthy to Mark O'Connell, and the ball has gone eventually wide. So that's wide number 2 for Glenroe. Wide number 2 for Glenroe, and it's Tiernan Ryan in no hurry. So Jason O'Mahony is looking like he's going to have a quick chat with those mentors from Glenroe. 2 minutes to go before the water break, of course, which is accustomed to who we are now in these days of COVID-19 and the restrictions and rules that are. While we watch Jason O'Mahony just having a quick chat with the Glenroe mentors, I'm sure explaining his point of view on the last couple of plays that have taken place. So it looks like Jason O'Mahony has taken some action with a mentor. Of course, this is the first game here. We're in a group of 4, which means that what will happen is that Bruff and Knockany, who are playing this evening, this is the group, so it's Bruff Knockany this evening, and the game you're watching, which is Dromin Athlacca and Glenroe. Those are the 4 teams. Top 2 teams go to the semi-final. So it's just 2 teams from this group. Team number 3, well, their year will be done. And after the four rounds, team number 4 will be in relegation. So an awful lot at stake here. Different format to the other games, but we're returning to play. And it's back here with David Breen. Ball goes inside. It hasn't quite gone dead. And Jason Lynn has got it broken down. It's a shot, and it's gone out for a 65. And it was Mark Fitzpatrick who had the final shot there. And some defender got back on the line and just got a touch to it. Might be Jimmy Barry Murphy, but the slightest ever flick deflected it past the right hand post as the goalkeeper stands in there, and that could have been goal number 2, and it was Jason Linehan causing all sorts of bother in there, and it wasn't dealt with quickly, and it could have been goal number 2, as we said, but David Reedy still a chance to get something from this. And it's Reedy with the 65. And it goes high and long, and the umpires like it. And David Reedy has put the ball over the bar, but not to the protestations of the Glenroe defence. But the score has been registered, and David Reedy gets the second score in a row as the puck out has been taken. And it's David McCarthy, and he wants to go long, and it's going high, but it's going very much to the left and wide. So a quick sideline, a quick puck out there, went to the sideline to David McCarthy, and it's water break time. So it's a water break time here for 1 minute. Both teams making their way to a designated spot. And like them, we will take our water break too. So we start back with the puck out from Tiernan Ryan. That water break was more than 1 minute, I can tell you, but it was welcome. It's a beautiful evening in Kilmallock, and breeze blowing left to right. And it's with the Glenroe men, as we said a little bit earlier on. And it's Tiernan Ryan coming down, not for the first time this evening, down on top of Stephen Walsh and David Breen. The ball is broken, and it's Breen who wins it. And he's done well, but he hasn't gathered possession. There's a lot of midfielders back there for the Glenroe men, and they hoover it up, and it's Donald Kelly who got the possession. Off to Stephen Walsh, off to David McCarthy, and now off to Owen Gallagher. Back to Padraig McGrath. And it's David McCarthy who opens the shoulder. Donica Dixie Higgins breaks it off, but it's with Kieran Kelly now, and Kelly comes onto the left. That won't go wide, but it'll go to a full forward line. It'll be a little bit more dangerous, and it's back to Kelly again. Back out as far as Donald Kelly. I wonder if they're related. Certainly both have a similar style, and it's Kieran hitting it across the field, but it's Paul Neenan. Possession just goes away from him, and it's David McCarthy on the attacking 65. He strikes, but McCarthy strikes the fourth wide of this afternoon for Glenroe. Good work again from Glenroe, and they'll be happy with how things are going for them, I can tell you. They're 1 point ahead here with a breeze, but considering it's their first game at Premier Intermediate level, this is very much how they would have wanted it. Dromin Athlacca, of course, a lot of experience at this grade. And it's Tiernan Ryan again, down on top of Stephen Walsh. Ball is broken this time by David Reedy, but it's Darren McCarthy who wins it. Trying to move it, but David Breen does well. Stephen Walsh, who's had a sterling opening 20 minutes odd there, hits it down to Micheál Reedy. Short to Shawnee O'Leary, turning. Shawnee using his left inside to Paul Neenan. Doesn't need a lot of space. Does Neenan strike is good. Will it reach to the goal? Surely a chance of a square ball. It was indeed. And Jason Lenihan was well in there. Even from here, you could see it happening, but quite a battle between him and Patrick McSweeney in there. And of course, the Glenroe men, backbone by men from Galtee Gales and Ballylanders. Of course, from a footballing point of view, that's where they will ply their trade over the next in 2 weekends' time, of course, as David Reedy handles this ball well, but it's taken away from him. Donica Higgins picking it up, and Dixie moving forward now, coming onto the 65, trying to get his full inside forward line away, but it's very well done there by Jimmy Barry Murphy, and Barry Murphy, the man who will start with Ballylanders in a couple of weeks, hits that long, down as far as Micheál Reedy, but touch just comes away from him, and it's Owen Walsh who's battling for it, and it's going to be a free out. David Reedy impeded Micheál Reedy impeded as he was going back. And it's Kieran Kelly and Micheál Reedy having a bit of a battle there at the minute. And it's, free has come way back here. And I missed that. So there was obviously advantage being played in some way, shape or form, and it didn't accrue. So Jason O'Mahony put the ball back to David McCarthy here, and a man that has got a point from a similar range not too very long ago. And it's David McCarthy hitting this one into the Dromin Athlacca goal. He moans as he hits it, and it's the first wide from a free, the fifth in all for Glenroe. And just as he struck it, you could hear the little groan, and it went out to the right hand side and wide as we looked down. So the game has settled a little bit. It was a frantic opening start, and we haven't had a score since the water break, since David Reedy scored in the 18th minute, and it's over 25 minutes played now. Puck out going short this time, but it's trying to work it out. Glenroe almost turn it over, but it's Dromin Athlacca who have it back, and it's good work. 2-3 quick passes here, and David Reedy puts it long, and it's down on top of Peter Fitzpatrick, and or Mark Fitzpatrick, I should say, and Jason Linehan. Forwards in a bunch there, and it suits the defence, and it's out comes Stephen Walsh, and he takes a hefty challenge as he was going from Paul Neenan. Of course, Paul Neenan, a veteran of this game, and has given some service to his club and county. An All-Ireland medal winner at Limerick with Limerick Intermediates back in 1998. That's quite some time ago, and he was a young man at that stage and right in his plum, and still offering some great attacking prowess here for this Dromin Athlacca team. But his team is on the defence at the moment, and it's Brian O'Connell who's been fouled. And I think it was a contact with the helmet there, and Jason O'Mahony had the arm up extended, allowing advantage to come. Didn't happen, and it's going to be Mark O'Connell. So Mark O'Connell is going to give his team what could be a 2-point advantage here, 1-6 to 1-4. If this were to go over, 1-5 to 1-4 as we are. And Mark O'Connell must have been very sunny where he was during the lockdown, because he is sporting a lovely tan. And O'Connell strikes it in, strikes it high. And an ace marksman that he is, gives us our first score after the water break, does Mark O'Connell. And that is giving his team a 2-point advantage. It's 1-6 to 1-4. Tiernan Ryan telling his forwards to come a bit closer. He's trying to find Shawnee O'Leary down here on top, but it's broken forward by the halfback, and that is Stephen Fox. And it's won back by O'Leary again. O'Leary striding, striking it well. This looks really good. Will it come in? It drops down. That is one of the scores of the game from Shawnee O'Leary. And that is exactly what his team needed there. The puck out came in his direction. It went away from him, and he put that ball at a second opportunity straight between the posts. A fabulous score off his left as Kieran Kelly wins possession cleanly. It's an advantage being played. It's kicked forward, and it's going to come back, I would think it is. And that was a silly free from Micheál Reedy. Head high, Jason O'Mahony says, and these Glenroe forwards are really, really tricky. They're nice and quick, and it's Micheál Reedy going to get some treatment for a blood injury. Jason saying replacement sub needed. This is treatment, so you can put somebody on, but nobody seems to be coming on just yet. Mark O'Connell going through his pre-performance routine, I would imagine. Sporting a good white helmet, and looks like his thumb is heavily bandaged as well, and O'Connell strikes that really well. Fabulous striker of the ball, always was, and on 28.5 minutes he's given his team a 2-point advantage. 1-5 to 1-7. Low scoring. First couple of minutes was really hectic stuff, and it was Glenroe who had started the well, but it's been a little bit more even since. Probably Glenroe having the better of it, I would imagine. Puck out comes, it breaks, and there's a midfielder at the foot of it, and it's a Glenroe midfielder, and it's the aforementioned Stephen Walsh hitting it long, but well read back there, and it looks like Peter McMahon. He's coming out with it off to David Reedy, well hooked by Owen Junior Walsh, and it's James Kelleher back to Reedy again. Game yet to take full fire as the ball has gone long down into the corner. It looks like Mark Fitzpatrick's following it, but no sign of it happening. And Mark Fitzpatrick over in that far corner there. Full forward line, Jason Linehan, Adam Costello and Mark Fitzpatrick. Of course, Adam Costello, another man, no stranger to this pitch. As indeed are none more of these players, but Adam growing up not too far away from here at all. It's taken down here, and it's David Reedy hitting the ball up, trying to find Paul Neenan, but doesn't get there. Play is broken again. David Breen inside to the Mark Fitzpatrick, the aforementioned. He's over there, tigerish defending by Glenroe as the ball is kicked across the field here, and it's Jimmy Barry Murphy looking to be underneath it, and Adam Costello looking to get something on it, but it's short to Mark O'Connell, and this is a scoring chance if it was to drop in, and it drops over the bar, and Mark O'Connell A scoring chance for Mark O'Connell on 30 minutes from midfield, and he duly obliges. And there's 3 between them. There is 3 between them. As David Reedy returns, or Micheál Reedy returns back onto the field of play. Pucker comes down on top of Seanie O'Leary. It breaks to the ground, and it's Darren McCarthy who does well in there, but there's a number of bodies, including David Reedy, nothing happening, and Mark O'Connell hits it down long, trying to find Owen Walsh, and he does well. Hits it back as far as Donald Kelly, and Kelly opts to shoot and strike, and that's 4-point advantage for the Glenroe men. And Donald Kelly does really well there, getting his first score of the afternoon. So Donald Kelly has got, by my reckoning, the 3rd score in a row for Glenroe on 31 minutes of play here. So last 3 have been from the men in green and black this afternoon. It's Dromin Athlacca doing well with David Reedy. Back to Micheál Reedy, trying to find Jason Linehan at the edge of the square. It's Jimmy Barry Murphy who's trying to get it away. It's Mark Fitzpatrick who's on possession now, doing well, gets it up in his hand. Options outside, fires it back to Linehan. Touch is just a little bit far away from him. David Reedy does well in there. Reedy moving forward now, space opening up. He strikes high, but it's going to the right hand side and wide. What's going to happen now? Because the Dromin Athlacca players protesting, and it's Jason O'Mahony. Just hasn't given a wide ball as of yet. Going into his umpires to see, and that looks like Morris Brown as one of his umpires in there. And it going to see what maybe they would have thought. And the Kildimo Palace Kinry clubman, is he going to give a free? Well, he's not, I'd say. It's Patrick McSweeney who's going to, looks like going to get a yellow card for something here or another. Yes, and yellow for Patrick. And are we looking at a free in, or is it a puck out? No, we're happy enough to go with a puck out. So David Reedy got wide number 3 for Dromin Athlacca. Puck out comes. And it's Paul Neenan trying to break it away, but it's broken through. It looks like the Donald Kelly, and Donald Kelly had taken up a real advanced position there. The midfielder hits 2 in a row on 32.5 minutes. Donald Kelly makes it 1-10 to 1-5 now, and daylight coming between these teams. As we play 3 minutes of additional time here in this first half, there'll probably be a little bit more because of that water break, and it's Tiernan Ryan. Dromin Athlacca probably needs something before half time now, and desperately needs something, and it's James Keller. Can he be the provider? Hits it inside, but doesn't have enough legs, and it gets us only as far as Owen Gallagher, being marshalled well back there, but it's off to Stephen Walsh, and Walsh clears his lines, but going to find the hand of Micheál Reedy, and Micheál Reedy looking to turn right or left, gives this low as far as Jason Linehan, comes off his shin, and it's David Reedy first onto it now, but it's 3 or 4 Glenroe men are in there, and as Reedy went to pick, he was fouled by Darren McCarthy, and that's going to be a free. And a real tigerish defending from the Glenroe men, and it's no more than you would expect from them. It's their trademark, really. They are a really, really tough team to play against because of the intensity that they bring, and they're bringing that here this evening, and they are 5 points in the advantage here. David Reedy to cut that back, and David Reedy strikes it, but he strikes it poorly. It strikes it to the right hand side and wide. It's his 2nd wide from a free, and the 4th wide for Dromin Athlacca this evening, in fact, as Ian O'Sullivan hits it, and he is going to have the last piece of play in this opening Lions of Limerick Premier Intermediate Group 1 fixture, and it's keenly contested. The story of the game thus far was a real lively start from the men from just under the Ballyhauras when they got off to a 1-2 to a no-score start, and it was left to David Reedy and David Breen to reply before the game petered out a little bit just after the water break when we were at 1-5 to 1-4. But since then, it's been all it's been all Glenroe, I should say. They have scored 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points in the last 12 minutes, odd there or thereabouts, to Dromin Athlacca's one. That sole point coming from Shawnee O'Leary on the 27th minute, and points from Mark O'Connell either side of Shawnee O'Leary's score, and Connell from play, and 2 finishing up there just in stoppage time from Donald Kelly makes this a very interesting second half. It's Glenroe 1 goal in 10, Dromin Athlacca 1 goal in 5. So we're all is in readiness for the start of the second half. This is a Group 1, of course, Premier Intermediate Championship, and it's Glenroe and Dromin Athlacca. The other teams, as I was saying to you, are in this group are Knockany and Bruff, and of course that game takes place at the very same time as this one, and there will be 3 more rounds after this evening. Next up for Glenroe is Knockany, and while Dromin Athlacca will play Bruff. And in the final round, it'll be Dromin Athlacca versus Knockany and Bruff versus Glenroe. And in all South Premier Intermediate Hurling Championship is the second half is underway, and it's make or break time now, as the vital championship points on offer here will be carried to the next round. And it's a free for Glenroe, and it's Donald Kelly over there, who had a fine finish to the first half. He'll be hoping to continue that at the start of this second. So all to play for in this championship, and it's the top 2 teams that will qualify for the semi-final, with team number who finishes in third. Well, their season will just be over, whilst team number 4 will be in relegation trouble. And back with play, and it's Owen Walsh who's taken the free, and he's given it back out to the man that gave him just a couple of moments ago, and that's Mark O'Connell. Tangle of legs there, but gets it back to Darren McCarthy. McCarthy trying to get through, well held up there, but he's recycled the ball back well, and it's Paul Neenan who is seeing that it might have been a ball back over towards Kieran Kelly. And it's Micheál Reedy who has won it back, and eventually cleared here by Garrod O'Leary. Long and into the sun and the eyes of Jason Linehan. And it's David Breen who goes to strike, and it's well blocked down by Patrick McSweeney. And here's a man who's had a sterling half an hour, and that is Stephen Walsh, starting as he's left off. And it's back out, and it's looks like Adam Costello over there who's won that free. Indeed, actually, it's Shawnee O'Leary. And his hurley was dragged there by David McCarthy. And the Glenroe man, a little bit miffed there, thought maybe that it might have been a free for him. It was Stephen Fox, in fact. And it's David Reedy looking to restore, or reduce even, the deficit, and Reedy strikes, and his radar is on, I can tell you. And the man who scored 4 points of Dromin Athlacca's 1-5 in the first half has got the first score of the second, and after 1 minute 45 it's David Reedy who makes it 110 to 1 goal and 6. Puck out coming into the teeth of the breeze this time for Ian O'Sullivan. Comes only as far as his own 65, and I think that breeze may have picked up a little bit. And it's Shawnee O'Leary on the attack, 2 number 10s. But it's the Dromin Athlacca number 10 that's advancing from the Glenroe 10 as the ball is played off. Great chance of a strike here, and Mark Fitzpatrick didn't get the final touch. And it was a brilliant move by Shawnee O'Leary who set him up. But he had his back to goal as he was swiping at it, and it's Stephen Walsh hitting it long down to his opposite number, which is Micheál Reedy, the primary school teacher back in West Limerick. Hits the ball to James Kelleher, off as far as David Reedy. Reedy going to fancy this, breeze at his back, throws it up at his left, and the tap of the crossbar by Ian O'Sullivan will tell you that the radar is on, and that is point number 2 for David Reedy in this second half, and he's 6th in all, 110 to 1-7, and there's a comeback, a slide ever one coming on, and it's puck out has been taken, and it's only to Shawnee O'Leary, and that's 3 in a row for the Glenroe, the Dromin Athlacca men. 1-8 to 110 now, 2 points the margin. And the sun in the eyes of Ian O'Sullivan. It is quite difficult down there, let me tell you, as he opts to go long and high this time, and it only drops to midfield, broken off by Diarmuid Kelly, and he hits it inside to his inside line, and it's well worked away by Tunica Higgins, but it's Owen Walsh. This man can move off his left. Walsh hits it in, and a lovely score from Owen Walsh, and that'll settle the Glenroe men. And after 3 in a row, Owen Walsh has given a 3-point advantage back to Glenroe. And we've played 3 minutes and 45 seconds out of this opening second half, and we've had 4 scores. So a change happening. And we'll keep abreast of that change there, and it looks like a change in the half-forward line for Glenroe, and it's Sean Clancy who's on the field of play as the puck out comes in. Adam Costello advancing, but 3 black and green jerseys there, and it's Jimmy Barry Murphy coming on, facing into the sun. The new man in there, and that is the Sean Clancy, and Clancy getting it inside. As far as his number 13, which is Owen O'Mahony, and O'Mahony strikes it. He likes it from where he is, and Owen O'Mahony has put that one back in and over the crossbar. A brilliant score from underneath the stand in Kilmallock, and Owen O'Mahony has made it 112 to 1-8, and all the early inroads that Dromin Athlacca have made have just been taken away as Tiernan Ryan gives this lint into the eyes of everyone, trying to find that hand of Paul Leenan, but it's Dermot McCarthy who picks it away, and it's Shawnee O'Leary fouling him as he's come out. And it's Sean Clancy in for Glenroe in the last couple of minutes, so we'll keep up with play because sub's going to come thick and fast, and I hear the name of Jerry Quaid being called here underneath us, and that would be a Dromin Athlacca sub, and it's Shawnee O'Leary here being spoken to, and it's Padraig McGrath, the man who's to made way there for Glenroe. As we get our bearings here and go back with play, it's Peter McMahon getting the ball out, and it goes long down as far as Jason Linehan, broken away, and it's Owen Gallagher underneath it, but David McCarthy sweeps it up, and it's Sean Clancy in his 3rd possession in as many minutes, are going to go long in as far as Tiernan Ryan, and Ryan does well, but he spills possession, chance for Owen Walsh, but it's kept out somehow, and it's eventually gone wide, and it was Peter McMahon who did really, really well there, because Owen Walsh had the chances if it spilled off a Tiernan Ryan, and McMahon got some kind of a touch on it, and eventually the ball went wide, and it's Glenroe hitting wide number 6, and we've got an injury to the aforementioned McMahon. So personnel being called in to have a look, but we're going to resume with play as the ball goes long. Down to Jason Linehan again. Paul Neenan playing a dinky little ball through to David Reedy. Space opening up here. Good step from Reedy. Great chance. They've got men over here. David Breen, he's second of the evening, this Breen. And that is a brilliant finish from David Breen, and what was a fantastic move where Paul Neenan fed David Reedy, and Reedy got through, brought 3 defenders to him and popped it off, and David Breen has got a fantastic goal for Dromin Athlacca, and that is going to make it a little bit more interesting. 2-8, which is 14, 1-12, which is 15. Glenroe still ahead, but just a minimum between them right now as we play 7 minutes of this second half, and it's the goalkeeper, the replacement goalkeeper from the start of the match, of course, which is Ian O'Sullivan. Mike John Farrell hurting himself on Thursday night at training, I think breaking a hand, and a judge, of course, not being able to play because of that. And here's the man who is in his place but doing really well, I can tell you, and 2 goals have come, and none could have been dealt with by any goalkeeper because David Breen's shot that time was rifled to the back of the net, and we're playing 1-point game here with all to play for as O'Sullivan looks to find somebody in his half-forward line. It's the frame of Mark O'Connell that comes up. It's broken forward by Kieran Short, drawn at half-time, and it's David McCarthy under awful pressure as he plays it forward as far as Donald Kelly, and Kelly is now under pressure, and it's Dromin Athlacca who seem to be working that bit harder in the last few minutes as Mark O'Connell tries to get Brian on the ball, and Brian O'Connell just can't get there, out over the sideline, and the enthused Dromin Athlacca management and backroom team underneath us here feel that their troops are well back in this, and that with a good 20 20 minutes, 22 or 23 minutes to go. This game is far from decided, and it's Micheál Reedy playing it forward, broken into the middle by Paul Neenan, but goes a little bit too far from David Reedy, and it's back to Stephen Walsh. Not his favourite side, he's right, but he still gets a brilliant strike on it. Up as far as brother Owen. Owen Walsh flicking it back to himself, and he'll try something on his right. No, he won't. He'll feed it to Kieran Kelly, the man who got the first score of the game. Kelly slips inside, thought he handled it 3 times. And he didn't, says the referee. He hits it in and hits it over the crossbar. And what was a very good attack here on Kelly gets his second score of this afternoon. And it's now 113 to 2 goals and 8 in favour of Glenroe. 9 minutes and 15 seconds gone. Brilliant score there. Brilliantly worked move. And we're seeing a little bit more flair from both attacks now. And we're seeing a little bit more of what we're used to from both of these teams. Of course, a very unusual championship is this year, as Glenroe are defending deep with David McCarthy, a man who won an All-Ireland medal as a goalkeeper for Limerick under-21s a number of years ago. But that won't matter too much this evening, as Stephen Walsh is defending valiantly back there, and eventually he puts the ball out over the sideline. And David McCarthy, of course, was the magical performer in those that under-21 final. And, was a key member of this Glenroe team who defeated Newcastle West last year in the county intermediate final in this very venue. And, of course, Glenroe, who had suffered heartbreak on many an occasion at the intermediate final level, got it right last year, and they had a fantastic campaign and really were the deserving winners of the competition, as they find themselves in front here against Dromin Athlacca. And defence into attack and back into attack again for Dromin Athlacca. A long high ball dealt with well by Stephen Walsh, who's been man of the match here this afternoon by a long shot so far. Gives it back as far as Owen Gallagher, trying to tread his way out there, but great work from the forward guard of Dromin Athlacca, and David Breen has added just a beautiful score there. And all the work being done by the Dromin Athlacca men to put pressure on the defence of Glenroe. And on 11 minutes here, we've got ourselves a very interesting tie, as the Brian O'Connell looks to battle with Paul Neenan, and Paul Neenan is fouled by O'Connell right underneath us here. And wily old customer did well there, I can tell you that. Paul Neenan showing all of his experience, his guile and his craft there, and Brian O'Connell may well be shown a card here, as Kieran Short looks like he's going to get some attention. So Brian O'Connell being spoken to by Jason O'Mahony. Are we going to see another yellow? Looks like it. Yes, we are. So yellow card for Brian. It's David Reedy. 1 point game. His team are down. This is a chance to tie it up. Breeze at his back. About 70-80 yards. Strikes it well. Looks good from here. The green spot. Straight over it. In that crossbar down there. David Reedy. He struck that really, really well. He was their top scorer in the first half. And he has tied the game up here, 210 to 113, as we play 12 minutes of this second half. It's Mark O'Connell, came really well short for that puck out, and Kieran Short was aggressive as he could, but O'Connell handling it well. In as far as Owen Walsh, off as far as Brian O'Connell on his right side. Super score. That is a brilliantly worked move, and Owen Walsh off to Brian O'Connell. Good a score, as you'll see at this level, or indeed at any level. And O'Connell, the scorer in the first half, the goal scorer down at the opposite end, gives an advantage back to Glenroe. And it's Stephen Walsh looking to field that all on his own. Where are the Dromin Athlacca forwards? But they're arriving now, and it's Seanie O'Leary battling hard, as is David Reedy. But it's a man who came in a couple of moments ago, and he's made an impression. That man is Sean Clancy. And he has made a big impression. He's had about 6 or 7 possessions, and he's been very effective with all of them. And he gives Mark O'Connell a chance, as Danny Murphy is protesting over there, along with a lot of subs. And, for standing in the way, the free has been brought forward, and it's now a 65. Well, on the 65. 210, 114. Glenroe by a point. Chance to go 2 up here. And Mark O'Connell, familiar style. Handled that last puck out really well under a lot of pressure from Kieran Short, and and the architect of that move. That final score as Mark O'Connell strikes. He likes it, and they like it over there as well, and it's 2 points of an advantage. And Mark O'Connell gives pushes Glenroe on to 1 goal and 15 as we play 14 minutes of this second half. Long again. No short puck outs being worked here tonight as it's in broken play at the minute, and it's been kicked away, and somebody has been fouled. Is that yes, it is. Here's the man that's played well this evening, and that's the midfielder Donald Kelly for Glenroe. He's got through a side of work. He's got up and down the field. He was defending that time. He got a great score in the first half as he was attacking, as David McCarthy puts this down on top of Brian O'Connell, and Micheál Reedy does well there, just plays a little bit of a jink, but where he hits the top there is nobody, only the aforementioned David McCarthy. His touch is not so good, and it's with Adam Costello striking back over his shoulder. It's going to go too far. Yes it is. Yes it is. So wide number 5, I make out that might be the first wide for Dromin Athlacca, but not so sure. 115 to 210. Trying to find a half-back line over there, and it's Donegal Higgins, who's well away from where he was listed earlier on tonight. That was at full-back. It's in midfield. Sean Clancy again. Look at this. He's going off on a solo run. Man outside. Ups to bring him in. And this is Kieran Kelly. Chance for Kelly on his right side, pitting it across the field to Brian O'Connell, but it's broken away, and it's Paul Neenan. He's very deep, and it's still on the ground. Brian O'Connell trying to get a kick on it, and the ball has been picked off the ground now by O'Connell, and it was Paul Neenan who was back there making that final challenge, and Paul Neenan is listed at right half forward, so just lying very deep at the moment. And Brian O'Connell picking that ball off the ground. Kieran Kelly, great chance maybe to just tap it over, but saw there was a man free inside him, and it just didn't work out on this occasion, and it's Micheál Reedy with a chance to clear lines. Reedy long, down to his brother Dave. And Dave handles that well. Look at that beautiful step out to his right. He's taken a couple of challenges. He struck that. It's going to go left and wide. And Reedy was fouled after possession, after he struck the ball. And it's going to be a free in. And, well, David Reedy did so much good work there all on his own, handling that, stepping left and right. Beautiful balance. And as he struck it, it went wide. But he was a bit of a follow-through maybe by one of the Glenroe defenders. Could be another card here as well. Not a dirty game by any sense of the imagination, but it's aggressive and physical, and it is yellow indeed. And I think that is Stephen Fox. It is indeed. And yellow for Stephen. So David Reedy will make this a little bit more interesting again and put it back to a 1-point game. Should be routine enough. Strikes it. It's good. Yeah, no, that's good. Straight over from where I'm standing. Okay, well, maybe not. Wide ball. So time for a water break. Wide ball. Not. So water break as we are, as that's the 5th or 6th wide of the game for Dromin Athlacca. And it's been an interesting opening 17 minutes thereabouts, and it was a brilliant start from Dromin Athlacca. They hit 3 right out of the bounce in the first 3 minutes to make it 110 to 1-8 after being 3 down at half time. But it was Owen Walsh, Owen O'Mahony who responded well. It was 112 to 1-8 on the 4th minute, so we had quite a flurry of scores there, and a decisive score coming. David Breen goaling after what was a brilliant move in the Dromin Athlacca attack, which David Reedy put him through. 112 to 2-8 at that stage. Then it was Kieran Kelly and David Breen and Kieran Kelly struck back for Glenroe, 113-28. Then scores from David Breen and David Reedy had us level on the 12th minute of the second half, 113-210. And in the last while, it's been Brian O'Connell and Mark O'Connell who've extended that advantage back towards Glenroe. So we're facing the final quarter of this game. It's uniquely and finely balanced. However, it's the men who I think have led for all of this game, Glenroe, who are 115-210 ahead. So puck out from Ian O'Sullivan. Trying to find Mark O'Connell, swap to that far side, swap with Sean Clancy now, and it's Dromin Athlacca who win the break, and it's David Reedy looking to spoon it up. And that he does, trying to get Shawnee O'Leary on it, but it's broken. And it's brilliant work by O'Leary. He's got a hook on Stephen Walsh, and it's David Breen who's moving forward. 2 goals and a point to his name this evening. And Breen is still moving forward. He's got a man off him, tries to place it across, but Jimmy Barry Murphy is defending the square. And that is a great place to be if you're a cornerback. And it's touched out here as it was trying to be got under control by Sean Clancy. So David Mullins looking to take it fast. Number of yellow helmets on this Dromin Athlacca team, which is quite unusual. Most guys go for the darker colours, green, white, or green or black. White maybe as well. But a number of yellow on one team is unusual. Ball goes down in deep into the corner, and it's with Adam Costello. It's Paul Neenan trying to win it up, but there's a number of bodies of Glenroe defenders. As there's a little bit of afters developing between 2 players, but it's Glenroe who win it out, and it's Jimmy Barry Murphy taking a bit of a challenge from Jason Linehan. Off to Mark O'Connell, numbers ahead of him, but O'Connell goes long, trying to find Brian O'Connell, and Dixie Higgins just does enough. Micheál Reedy wins it here. Back. Goalkeeper has left his goal, but Dixie doesn't see him. He decides to move forward here, hand passing it to James Keller, but it's Shawnee O'Leary who is found. O'Leary fancies it off his left. It's coming high. It's dropping, but it's going left and wide. Wide number 7 by my token. Ian O'Sullivan again trying to get somebody on it on that half forward line, and he's put it into a beautiful pocket of space for Owen O'Mahony to come to, and O'Mahony gives it inside as far as Junior, affectionately as he is known, and Junior tries to take on his cornerback Peter McMahon, but great defending by McMahon as Walsh is still in possession, however, looking to get it back, and it's Owen O'Mahony who's joined him, and it's Dromin Athlacca who have won it back. There's a lot of noise, but play continues as the ball comes forward, and it's Sean Clancy who wins it back for Glenroe, and it's played forward to this opposite side to Brian O'Connell. Beautiful hand. Donica Higgins in front of him. That's good defending. No way through there. And it's back now as far as the Donald Kelly. It's going inside. And what are we going to have? I think we could have a free in here. Yes, we could. And it was James Keller who was adjudged to have fouled Donald Kelly as that ball was played. And it's Mark O'Connell with a chance. Tiernan Ryan had left his goal and looked like he was going to win possession. So this would make it a 2-point game again. A 3-point game indeed. 210 to 115. Would be the first score after the water break if it was to happen. And Mark O'Connell, who has been unerring this evening from frees, pops that one straight over the bar, and he makes it Glenroe 1 goal and 16, which is a fine tally, to 2 goals and 10. 3-point game. As the puck out comes, David Reedy looks like he's advanced into centre forward now, as they try to get something a little bit more going forward, but it's these men in green and black who are coming forward, and it's Brian O'Connell after a well-worked move. O'Connell strikes it off the upright as it comes, and the whistle has gone for some reason. So maybe players thought it was gone over, so the whistle had gone, and it was a well-worked move there. It was Brian O'Connell who took the final shot after a good 3-man move there. 1 pass, 2 passes, and on the third he struck. And it's going to be a throw in. So it's thrown in, and it's Dromin Athlacca win it back. Peter McMahon coming away with it, and he hits it out, but only as far as the Glenroe man, and that man is Donald Kelly, and there doesn't have to be a lot said about that. There's going to be a yellow card here. And again, not dirty, but just mistimed. And then there is a difference as we look to David Breen, yellow card. And it looks like Kieran Kelly has made way. And I'm trying to see who may have gone on there. It is Kieran Kelly, and he was the man, of course, who got the first score of the game, the first score for his club in this Premier Intermediate Championship. And we'll check. We think it might be Sean Maloney. Sean, of course, an under 17 last year. Now 18 years of age coming into this team. And equally adept in both backs and forwards is Sean. If it's the man that we think it is, but it's Mark O'Connell for his team. Going to have a chance here, and O'Connell strikes it high. The fans will tell you over there that Mark O'Connell has found the radius, and O'Connell has hit his third point in a row and Glenroe's fourth. So the last time that Dromin Athlacca scored was on the 12th minute when David Reedy hit a free to make it 113 to 210, and since then it's been all Glenroe, and they have scored through Brian O'Connell and 3 from Mark O'Connell. 2 of those from play, 2 of those from frees and 1 of those from play. As the puck out comes, Dromin Athlacca just needs something to ignite them, as David Breen, the man who's got 2-1, make that 2-2, and he has been a leading light, I can tell you, in that attack for them this afternoon is David Breen. 27 minutes gone. There'll be a share of stoppages yet. 2-11 to 117. As Glenroe try to win yet another puck out this afternoon, and it's David Reedy in it though. As Reedy did he step out over the line? The subs don't like it over there, and it's kicked back, and something has happened. There's a linesman putting a flag up. And, well, something has happened over there, and I think it's going to be a line ball to Dromin Athlacca. So here it is. Is it a free or a line ball? We'll know in a second. I think it looks like to be, yeah, it's a line ball. And Micheál Reedy advancing now. So David Reedy didn't get it that far. It's Mark O'Connell who wins it. Turns onto his right, trying to get it forward into his full forward line. And it's Donica Higgins again, who's had a real solid hour, I can tell you, at that full back position. Off to David Breen. He's looking for 2-3. Breen hits it long. Oh my God, that is a fantastic score from David Breen. And I say it without the fear of repeating myself, when they needed something, he has coughed it up at every hand's turn tonight. 2 goals in 12 to 1 goal in 17. It's a 2-point game here. As the ball comes up in the air, it's broken down by Michael Mullins, and it's won, however, in midfield as Darren McCarthy tries to edge it forward. But it's Micheál Reedy who's coming out with it now. It's a game that's finely balanced. It's David Breen spooning it forward to Shawnee O'Leary, but a touch, and a vital touch by Patrick McSweeney makes it into the middle, as we may have a head injury here. That's why the game has stopped. And precautions just been taken here by the referee. Ball was very much out on the open, so we'll probably restart with a throw-in ball. 2-12 to 117. So that is 18 points to Dromin Athlacca and Glenroe by 20. 2 people being sought for this one, and it's Shawnee O'Leary and Donald Kelly. So it's just touched forward here, but hasn't made a whole lot of ground. Nobody's won it just yet. And this is a huge part of the game now, winning this ball on the ground. And it's broken away 3 or 4 times. Players have to be so disciplined in these situations because anything can happen, and we're going to have a similar situation to what we had about 25 seconds ago. We're going to have a throw in. And it's as you were. Shawnee O'Leary maybe and Donald Kelly again. Yes. And David Reedy nips in at the back, and he's fouled as he goes forward. And this makes it very interesting. We're on 30 minutes here, but there will be a little bit of added time because of injury and substitutions and, of course, water break. Just 30 minutes and 30 seconds gone. So we're 30 seconds into injury time, and it's David Reedy to make a 1-point game out of this. And Reedy strikes it in and over the crossbar. So we are playing a 1-point game. So it's puck out 1 by Dromin Athlacca, and Micheál Reedy just spills possession, and it goes back. 4 minutes of normal time remaining, and I just kept my watch going. So plenty of time left as Micheál Reedy spoons it back as far as Peter McMahon, off as far as Tiernan Ryan, looking for a handball or a throw ball, I should say. But that wasn't happening. It's gone long now, down as far as the full forward line, and it's Paul Neenan who tries to break it back. A flood of bodies from both teams there, and it's Patrick McSweeney who's decided to take initiative there, and he's coming away with it. He's now in midfield, plays this ball forward, but to nobody in particular, only a Dromin Athlacca man, and it's back, and it's David Breen. It's going to drop short, it's going to drop to the left, and it's going to drop wide number 8. 2:13, 1:17, 1-point game. It's Glenroe who are leading. Shape being sought by both sets of team managements as Ian O'Sullivan pucks this one long. A brilliant ball to Brian O'Connell, and O'Connell hits it up this sideline here in front of us, and trying to get Sean Maloney on it. The ball has gone out over the sideline, and it's going to be one to Dromin Athlacca. Time on their side. This game is finely balanced. It's James Kelleher back to Micheál Reedy striking it, but Mike hits it back down. It goes through Stephen Fox, and it's Jimmy Barry Murphy trying to tidy it up now. And it's anybody's ball, but it's Murphy who comes away with it, and that's a definite free. That is a definite free. Looks like Adam Costello may have given away that one. It is indeed, and he's going to get himself into the book of Jimmy Barry Murphy receiving a little bit of attention. Micheál Reedy maybe going to be pushed up. I just heard a call coming here, but David McCarthy is hitting this one long. Both teams grasping to what they have. Glenroe trying to hold what they have and maybe add to it, and Dromin Athlacca trying to find parity, or maybe that elusive goal that would put them in front. Ball is coming forward. Shawnee O'Leary to David Breen. If this man was to get the tying score, it would be very interesting, but he has been put under sufficient pressure, and that is by my token wide number 9 for Dromin Athlacca. And it was a brilliant move, a chance to tie it, but it tailed away just as it was struck. And it's Ian O'Sullivan with the puck out, but it's won there by the number 17, which is Jerry Quaid, the man that's in. He tries to move it across as far as David Breen, but it's this man, Stephen Walsh, who has gotten it away. It's long and high, and it's down on top of the full forward line. And it's Dunica Higgins with a little bit of advantage in height there that moves that ball out. But it's Brian O'Connell who's gotten a break. He's on his right side, and it's all over here. That's all over here in Kilmallock in Fitzgerald Stadium, and it's Glenroe who have, by the slenderest of margins, got themselves the win in this Premier Intermediate Championship. It's Glenroe, 1 goal and 17. Dromin Athlacca, 1 goal and 17. Dromin Athlacca 2 goals and 13. And defeat for the Dromin Athlacca men, and they will think that they had plenty of opportunity here. 8 wides by my tally, but it was a determined and very battling performance by Glenroe, who got 117 on the evening, a fair score in ideal conditions, and led in chief by the brilliance of Mark O'Connell up front. And the rock, that is, of course, Stephen Walsh at centre-back, who had a fine, solid game for his men. They are making their debut here this afternoon, and they've made it successfully. They are off to a winning start in this Lions of Limerick Premier Intermediate Group 1 campaign. And they, of course, facing Knockany in their next game, buoyed by this win and buoyed by the fact that their championship has started well. For Dromin Athlacca, they will have a stiff test in the next game when they face off against Bruff, who would be considering themselves one of the top 4 teams in this championship. But I'm sure this one will be better to take for them, and they will bounce back with some spirit, as they have and as they are as a club. And it's an interesting game. It was a game that was in the balance for a long periods, but Glenroe just edging their noses in front right at the end, winning this one. As we leave you for Limerick GA TV from Kilmallock, it was 110 to 1-5 at half-time for Glenroe. It was an interesting and more livelier second half. It was Dromin Athlacca 2 goals and 13, which is 19, to Glenroe's 1 goal and 17, which is 20. 1 point win for them as they march on, as do Dromin Athlacca, to round 2 next weekend of this Lions of Limerick Premier Intermediate Hurling Championship. Thanks for your company this evening. We hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for more live games from Limerick GA TV.